drama with Wanda.
Hey, it is me, Wanda B, on IntellectualRadio.com. We're in iHeart Station. This is He Said, She Said with me, Wanda B. How you guys doing? Please share the broadcast. It's looking fuzzy today. Please share the broadcast, like and share it. I appreciate you guys so much. Chime in, and then you can always, if you're watching on Facebook, please just chime in. Let's share the broadcast, like and share it. I appreciate you guys so much. Chime in, and then you can always, if you're watching on Facebook, please just chime in. Let me know what you think on the topics we're going to be talking about. We have a few topics, so please chime in, give us your opinion. It's so appreciated. Today was great. We had a really good time. We were out celebrating the 8th annual Buzzing Off Awards, and I had the pleasure to be there hosting on the red carpet with some other some media. We and Latonya Lang is just a fabulous person who puts on this event, honoring the community leaders. Those honored yesterday were the Millen twins. They now have a show here at Intellectual Radio. You have to check them out. They've done so much for the community with domestic violence, and they're also teachers. You have to check them out. They're going to be Fridays at 7 p.m. Mary Datcher was honored. So many folks. I can't even get all the names out. But you will have to check them out next year. But it's also Latonya Lang's birthday.
Hey.
So a big shout out to Latonya Lang. Happy birthday. We want to give you a big shout out from everyone here at Intellectual Radio. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then besides the happy birthday, I have some events coming up. We have Bedroom Bingo that'll be happening Wednesday, September 26th at Ravens Place. Ravens Place, the owner of one of the owners of Ravens Place, Reginald Cotton, was honored last night. Forgot about him. It was held at Universal Center last night. We really had a good time. So congratulations to him, and come out to Bedroom Bingo September 26th. And then I have a hot line of jewelry that I'm selling, and always looking for people who would like to earn some extra income. I have on a piece now. Everything is $5, so you can't beat that. Every piece in this line of jewelry is $5. So if you'd like to sell jewelry as well, earn some extra income, let me know. Inbox me, Wanda B, let me know. They have fabulous pieces and everything. Nothing's over $5. And a lot of the pieces come with earrings. So this beautiful piece is one of Paparazzi. So let me know if you're interested in that. And this episode of He Said, She Said is brought to you by Allstate Insurance. So if you need home, auto, or life insurance, call Sal. Tell Sal I sent you. Located at 7380 West 87th Street, 599-5100. Tell Sal I sent you. Call him for a quote. He will definitely take care of you. Tell him Wanda B sent you. So on the panel today, I have with me none other than the woman whisper.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, everybody.
You'll see why I call him the woman whisperer. I think I gave him that name. I don't know if anybody else calls him the woman whisperer, but you will know why when we start talking about any topic. The ladies will be like, hey, okay, tell him, Okara. Yes. The woman whisperer. And my T-Bizzle with a giggle in the middle.
Hey, everybody.
My Raw Checklist teammate. So we are here today. We're going to bring you a little bit of Raw Checklist at the end of the show as well. So we're going to give you some things to check off your list of life. So today, if you're watching on Facebook, like I said, join in the conversation. Let us know what you think. So our first topic today, why do women overestimate their attractiveness? So guys, if you're watching, women, do you feel that you overestimate your attractiveness sometimes? Would a woman, I don't know if a woman would actually admit to that. Would they admit to overestimating their attractiveness? Why do people in general do people have realistic views of their market value on the dating scene? So couple questions padded in there, but so a realistic view of your market value on the dating scene. I think a lot of times I do hear women say like my worth or they have proved to me. How do they word it? I hear it often that men have to prove almost worthy to go out on a date with them, or have you heard that?
Yes, yes, I've heard that. I've heard that. Uh, I think there is a little overestimation that is going on between actually both sexes. You hear a lot of times when women are talking about, well, why don't men do this? Why don't men do that? I met a guy, he doesn't plan dates, he doesn't do this, he doesn't, put forth a certain effort. A lot of time, what I think people don't realize or women don't realize as it pertains to men is that it matters on how enthusiastic we are about you. So you might be attractive enough to, go out or entertain to a certain degree, but we have to also be and so a lot of times with the excitement is based off of mainly in the beginning looks, or if there is something about your personality that we thought was special and that gave us our enthusiasm. But if you're talking about a stranger, it's going to be based off looks for the most part. And if he thinks you are average attractive, then maybe his enthusiasm to do all of it may not be what it would be if he felt like he was very attracted to you.
Ouch. I guess that's honesty.
Yeah. I believe he's telling the truth because men are visual. So if they don't have this visual, because a lot of women, and I've seen it, and I have some friends that do it. I don't say anything to them about it, but they catfish. So they just do the pose, chest up and whatever. And I know, that she might have a gut, like myself or whatever, or she might be short or, anything. And they'll be like, girl, this picture, I like it. But then when he meet them, at Starbucks and they wondering why,
he keep looking around. Well, like, where is she?
He'll
She's sitting right there at the chair in front of her.
he'll just get a small, frappe and leave. And then they be like, girl, he faked me out. I'll be like, because you lied, you catfish, he didn't know you was, I don't know why they do it. Myself, I do. I know a lot of women who think, that theme music should be playing in the background, and the guy should be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take her out, and the first trip, and we going to Hawaii." He don't know you.
Kelly Renee said there's a fine line between self-esteem and you ain't that damn cute. Women need to know and understand this. Men too. Hello, Wylinda, part of the team.
Hey,
Tony Brand
Wylinda.
said, thanks to makeup surgeries and hair care products, looks have become overstated by a lot of men and women. Hello, Tim King.
Yes.
And I think I missed a couple people who ran. Cherie, I think I missed you. I can only see the first top 5 comments. I think Cherie. Hello, Cherie. So the and hello, Latanya, my buddy in the paparazzi.
Your
Latanya, no, not her. Latanya, another one. That's Latonia.
Oh, right.
The names are so similar.
Right.
Latanya, who sells paparazzi with me. Hello for watching the show. I have on my paparazzi.
Hey.
And so, hello, Latanya. We're hopefully people can see my little paparazzi and get involved. Like I said, if you want to earn extra income, paparazzi is for you. Inbox me for some more details. Hello, Ernest. He's part of the team too. Hey, who has been on the panel before here at He Said, She Said. So we are talking about the value. Do men and women make their market value on the dating scene? I think sometimes I hear guys say too that women don't know a real man, or they don't know a real man when they see him. And I've tried to date someone and go, we could be as real a man out there, but if they don't like you. But do we judge men on looks as much as men do? Their attractiveness?
Well, yes and no. When I was younger, sure, you want him to be tall, whatever, look like somebody on TV, like Scott Baio or God rest his soul, Burt Reynolds. You want to look, a particular way, sexy and smell good, things like that. You do, but when you get older, I want to say for me, after the age of 30, you try to go into their personality. And you don't necessarily say, well, he has to look a certain way. But as of now, today, what is it, September 9th? Yeah, I'm for the looks. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
What you just?
Yes.
How did we get here?
Yeah.
She said when I was
I was
younger,
thinking-
and
And
I
now
was
I'm going
gonna-
for how you look.
Because you know what, I'm looking at, and it's probably, shady or petty, but I'm looking at, because I'm looking at when we get 60, 70, and 80, and how we gonna look on our selfies, when we go out in public, because I used to be one of those women who were just, I don't do a lot of makeup. For the simple fact, I don't even want to scare myself because I have a lot of girlfriends. They put on tons of makeup. One of my friends, we used to work together. She puts on makeup whenever she takes a break. She takes a lunch. When she goes to the bathroom. Yeah, and she doesn't need it, but that's how much she applies it. It's like normal to her, like breathing. She gotta have her makeup on, and I think that takes away from your femininity. What if he just wants to wake up and just
You don't want to look at a drag queen.
Yeah, I mean, come on, they just overdo it, and then when you see them in public, like, oh girl, I don't want to do no picture. I don't have my eyelashes on. For real? Well, you didn't have no eyelashes.
But
anyway,
guys
so
like
what?
that, I think.
And see,
guys,
to me,
like,
I think
guys like
that's
what?
Makeup on women? No.
Not no cake don't make up.
You know what? I think
on his shirt.
I think that
Not
it
to get on his
depends on
shirt.
it really
When I hug you and I leave my
it
makeup
depends on how much. Like
Okay.
there are times when you look at a woman and it just seems like if you like stuck it or something, it would come up.
It would chip.
Yeah, like
Well,
so-
I ain't as cute without makeup on, so now
That's
would.
That's a lie.
so
No,
you know it's
No,
it's
you be
kind
like,
of like
she cute, but she could look better.
yeah, it's like do you see their skin? Like they face and then like down by their neck is a totally different
Oh,
color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's not cute. But there are times, but there are people who like with a little light makeup or whatever that it it does
Enhance.
good. Yeah, it does.
It's
enhance.
supposed to enhance. It
That's
doesn't make you look like a different person. By the time you said your standards definitely change as you get older. I don't think they turn like T Bizzles and you start usually they go the opposite.
Right.
Like I'm looking for depth. Now I'm just looking for looks.
I am.
Usually I hear the opposite. Tony Brand said no men don't like a lot of makeup on women. He put that all in caps. Don't be mad about it.
He yelling at you. No. It's okay.
Man,
Tony.
do
It's
not
okay.
like a woman with a lot of makeup. I gotta give a shout out to my own makeup artist. Thank you very much, Stephanie Evans. How do we? I don't know. I told Stephanie to send me how to contact her. Just look for Stephanie Evans on
SBC Beauty Consultant.
What's the name of it?
SBC.
SBC Beauty Consultants.
Yes.
I have a fabulous makeup artist, and I don't think she makes me always look like I have on a makeup. Even though I know I'm trying to look like I have on. I don't know.
She gives you natural. I mean,
but it looks natural.
Anyway,
I hope.
But now some women need
I'm
it.
telling you, some people I think need a little touch.
So
They do.
yeah,
A
I mean,
little
yeah,
touch
some
helps.
people do need it, but I don't think anybody need it to the point where you look like a totally different person with it all.
Mhm.
What about though the people? Some women it adds self-esteem. They put on makeup, and maybe it does give them a oomph to their self-esteem when they add the makeup.
But then they feel bad when they don't have it on.
Right, and
you
that's
shouldn't feel that way.
right. So I mean, I think if you're gonna add to your self-esteem, it should probably be something that's gonna stay there. I mean,
That you don't wash off when you.
I'm just saying because it's like if you
I never thought of it that way.
if you think if you think about it, that's a lot of swings in the mood swings. I mean, it's like
It
One eyelash, I can't go with my eyelashes.
shoot,
You
it's kinda
funny.
like afternoon, I'm like, yay. At midnight, I'm like, like, right before I go to bed, I feel ridiculous and
She's
ugly.
sleeping in the bed or
Yeah.
waking up early to put on makeup before you
Yeah.
see her. Tony said, as long as you're comfortable without makeup in public, then you're okay. Yeah, I can go out without makeup, I think. But some women can't. That you cannot be seen. Wait, take one without my glasses on. Okay, I got too many ugly pictures out
Oh
there.
no, you don't.
Yes, I do. I promise you, I do. Look on Facebook. Go scrolling through my thing. You be like, ah.
Oh
Ugh.
Lord. Okay.
So Tony Bird said, when it comes to makeup, enhancements are okay, but deception is wrong. Cherie says self-esteem is also directly correlated to beauty standards in society.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tony said, as long as you're comfortable, okay. And I can't read anymore. So the the market value, as we said, do men and women sometimes think, I don't want to say more highly of yourself than you should, because you should think highly of yourself. But sometimes I have heard, and I'm only going to say this from a woman's perspective, because men, how do they say it? They say theirs differently, but women, I hear it more often from women than I actually have heard it from men. Do you hear it as often from men?
From
the standards of what a woman has to do to get with him?
Yes.
You hear from men too? What are some of the things they say?
Well, some men, like if she don't have, a big backside, big booty, they don't want to talk to her. Or some men like, well, she got to work too and pay for me and take me out.
Pay half.
I'll be like, oh, okay. I mean, we can go to Wendy's. It's okay. But I mean, if we going to somewhere like Papa Do's or Laurie's,
you got to take me when it's Papa Do's. I take you when it's Wendy's.
I mean,
you are funny. Let me tell y'all too.
If we have an agreement, like if he's really serious and I plan on, being serious with him, then I
You don't mind treating the Wendy's, or you just saying you don't mind treating?
I don't mind treating, period. But I don't like to be the one. Where it's been happening with me is I'm always the one that's paying. So it's the point where, I don't want to do that. I've always done that. I think I told you before on one of your other shows. If I'm with him, and I really like him, I'm all the way with him. So a lot of people are still, toying with the idea of being with somebody. I don't do that. If I say, I'm dating Jimmy, I'm dating Jimmy. I'll go get Jimmy socks, cologne. That's how I am. So now, that's why I'm into the
Karen, like, what's your phone number?
This my brother. No, he's gonna always be the spirit to me. But it just changes. Like I said, at a different age, at a different time, I probably been like, no, he got to do it. No,
So Wendy's all in. Now you made it sound like you'll pay for Wendy's, but he got to pay for Papa Do's.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as I get my swamp thing and my seafood platter, then we good.
What swamp thing?
That's the drink, girl. It's delicious. We need to go. So
I know I need to go.
It's great.
I'm on a budget for myself. I do not like spending a lot of money on food. I feel like I'm just gonna eat it and it's gone.
No. Are you in seafood?
No, it's in your body.
I love seafood. I know. Okay. I feel like it's just.
It nourishes your body.
I can't spend a lot. I can nourish my body for cheaper.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
I do like it. Early Other Winfrey's son actually works there. So if you go to the one in,
I think it's Westmont.
Mm-hmm. If you go there, ask for him.
It's delicious.
I guess I got to say his name right to ask for him. AJ. Ask for AJ. He's there all the time. So if you go to that one, Papa Do's, ask for AJ. I do love their food. I wouldn't take. But would I ask somebody to take me on a date there? I usually would not even suggest places. I let them choose since they're paying.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense.
No, that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
That makes sense.
If
you can't spend somebody else's money for him.
Right.
So yeah.
And then the other thing is, I don't want to go with him, and then he might be a giving guy. Let's say like if me and Okira go out, he might be that type of guy that doesn't mind. But then I don't want to be on a date. Well, give me a steak, shrimp. Now dang well you don't eat the steak and shrimp. So why would you do it when he take you out? See, to me that's wrong. Just go ahead and
people do that all the time. And so many. And we have
never done that.
Not even just dates. One time our coworker said, I want to take you guys out for lunch, and she said, oh, since you taking us out, this is where I want to go.
See,
and I was like, ooh, she had no problem saying that too. If you paying, it all changes what I want.
I've seen people do that.
She ordered 2 meals.
She ordered 2 meals.
Mm-hmm. She said, I want this and this. I was like, for lunch?
And she took it home. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why people don't.
I've seen that.
That's greedy. She was a greedy blankety blank.
So I'm probably taking us off the topic. While Linda said, people think I'm crazy because I find beauty in some of the most unattractive people. Now, I don't look at outer I really do go with what kind of person you are. The outer look doesn't phase me as much as how nice a person, the quality. Not that you can't be nice outside and have good quality, but what captures me first is our conversation.
I kind of go back and forth on it.
Well,
Actually,
guys,
like
probably all go with
sometimes I'm really like, okay, she has to look a certain way, and then other times I'm just kind of more about like how I feel about her
Well,
personality.
but the looks is the first thing we see in anybody, though. So I
But
guess it'd
something
be
has to
wrong to say that
something has
that's
to
not
be
what you notice first.
but something has to be. I mean, as far as continuation, so I'm not going to go up to any girl who I don't think is attractive. That's just not going to happen. Something has to be attractive
It's
about you,
got to
whether
be
it be your
something.
body,
Yeah.
whether it be your lips, or something, your face, whatever. But then the thing that actually make me put forth an effort to get to know them is their personality.
But the big booty drove you in first.
The big booty will drive, yeah. It's like a magnet. It's like a
It's
magnet.
like a magnet.
All of a sudden, you just kind of
Hope you got a
like
nice personality
Right.
because I like your booty.
you just find yourself over there.
You're like, somehow
It's
bring me
like-
on a booty.
Right. He just thought it.
But
Yep,
you
that's
know
the
what?
one.
The funny thing about it is that sometimes when there's something like a big booty, or if it's the big booty that like draws you in, it's actually awkward. Because
What's awkward after that?
Well, at least when I was younger, I would say this, when I was younger, it was awkward because all I would be thinking about
It's
is
the
the
big
booty.
booty.
And
You
you
can't even
can't say,
talk to
man,
it.
you got a nice booty. You can't say that. So you're
That's all
looking,
that's on the tip of your tongue.
yeah, so you sit there like, and I think that's why a lot of guys end up lying and overestimating a woman's attractiveness, because you can't say, oh my God, your booty is just so they call girls who may not be aesthetically pretty, just to say, just so they won't have to say your booty is big.
Right,
So
for
you
real.
say, "Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're so pretty." When it's really, you have a big,
Big
booty,
booty.
but I
Yeah.
can't
Right.
say you have a big booty, so I just say you're pretty.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And that's
And
why I
then
think,
that's why you send those girls off,
and that
because
and
now
girls
they're thinking,
right, and so you have girls
Yeah.
thinking that they are like 9s and 10s,
Right,
when
they're
really
five.
they coming in at like a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
but their
And then
booty is a 9.
But they booty is like, has
Yeah.
raised the attractiveness, a little bit. And if you somebody who just coming up on her, you like, and she acting like she a 10, and you like, girl, really? Where you get this attitude from? Because some dude lied to him and was like, oh my God, you so pretty, when he was just talking about a booty.
I think that really makes sense to me.
He's telling the truth. I work with a gentleman, and he's a pastor, by the way, on the west side of Chicago.
And he like big booties.
And he likes women,
He's a
period.
pastor.
But he made a point to me.
Is he married?
He is.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I said. Oh, it's a young lady at her job. She has a very naturally, not a. She didn't buy her butt, but her booty is fat. It's like, wow, she make men and women look. But he had the nerve to say that her face was funny looking. So he was like, I wouldn't be attracted to her. He said, yeah, I would like her butt, but she's not nobody that I would go and date and be with. And I was like, I was like, his wife is ugly. So, why did he say that? So I'm thinking, he made me think that men, like what he just said, her butt was good enough, but then her face wasn't. And his comment that he made was, she would make me feel I would have to dummy myself down. And then she'll turn around and leave me in 2 weeks. So I was like, yeah. So when he said that, I was like, oh, so that's why he got the unattractive wife. So I was just,
so he can feel smarter. So you don't have to dumb me down. I'm confused as to his logic a little bit.
Some men, I guess he was saying like he don't have to work as hard and feel like, this is a pretty girl. I gotta do this. With his wife, it was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I can get away with murder. Whereas with the pretty girl, no, I got to do this. I got to dress a certain way. I got to act a certain way. I got to talk a certain way. And I was like, wow, never knew guys felt that way.
It is a different, I guess, pressure on depending on the attractiveness of the woman. But a lot of times it's actually just a kind of a pressure you put on yourself. I think a lot of times men, we look at women and we make certain assumptions. Mm-hmm. And I had this friend, and she's a very attractive woman. And every time when guys would meet her, like in the beginning, they would be really excited about her, right? And then they would get a load of her personality, and then all of a sudden they would kind of like back off, right? And she came to me and she was like, oh, everybody's always so excited when they meet me or whatever, and then all of a sudden they bag off. And I told her, I said, because you're needy.
Oh.
And when men look at you and they see how attractive you are, they're going to have a certain perception of what it is that they need to do and how they need to interact with you. And then when they find out you're so needy, they're kind of like, whoa, what's wrong with her? Because you're not, in their head, you're not supposed to be so needy. You're supposed to get so much attention that this shouldn't feel new to you. And you acting like you're thirsty. And she was just kind of like, I was like, you need to relax.
Y'all still friends? Because sometimes women get upset with honesty.
We still,
men
I mean,
too. Now, don't
we
make
still,
me
I mean,
mad at me. I know men too.
we don't talk as much because
I'm sure you don't.
We don't.
You're too honest.
Right.
No, we don't.
Her wrist after that comment.
We don't talk as much because of life.
Right.
Just like general,
that's what she told.
whatever. But she wanted to know. I told her. But it's the truth. Like,
that's
if you see a very attractive,
that's a real friend.
If you see a very attractive woman, you make certain assumptions, and one of the assumptions is that she gets a lot of attention, and she should be used to it. But there are some women who, don't have that chill.
I think that boils down to self-esteem. Just because you're attractive on the outside doesn't mean you actually feel attractive.
Right. True.
You can have 80 people tell you every day that you're beautiful, and if you don't feel that in it, it doesn't matter how many times they tell you don't feel it.
That's very accurate.
And their actions then come off as needy because they're constantly trying to feel it. And looking for that in others to give it to them.
Right.
And that's
definitely
words of affirmation, people.
Yeah.
Just play.
That's love languages. If you guys have taken, I always come up words of affirmation, but I'm
that's why you turned your lips at me.
right. Every time I take that test, that's what I come up with. Not that anybody cares. I'm from one person that cares if I told them that. So Tony Brand says women who have great looks don't have to have a personality to get men, so they tend to be kind of empty.
Yes.
Yes, we know not all. He had to put that disclaimer before people like, I'm not empty.
Oh, okay, they be on his page.
I'm attractive and I'm not empty. Yes, anything we're saying, and I'm going to put out this giant disclaimer that I'll probably have to say over and over. I may say women do this, or I've noticed. I'm only talking about the women I've met, not you. I don't know you. So I know you may be totally different than the women that I may have come encounter with. So please don't take this personal. I'm talking in a general people I have run in and I have met you. And so this is not an all. And then I may say men do this. Not you. Not all men. Only some. And I'm only speaking from my experiences. And everyone else too. I'm speaking for everybody. We're speaking
that
from
is
our
correct.
own experiences.
These are our personal experiences. These are not Chicago bona fide U.S. government real life own network experiences.
But some people are like this for sure, though.
Yeah.
Tucson said if it's external, they're easily taken advantage of, empty, looking for someone to fill them up. And that's the neediness you mentioned, is that neediness. But so when it comes to dating, where has this overestimated looks, where has that started from? Where is that where you overestimate your looks? Where did I
you know what, I think, all right, so I think there is this kind of like fake where we supposed to have so much self-love, esteem, and I think that people kind of fake that thing until they feel like it actually becomes
they are faking it till they make it to act like I'm so
and I think that like sometimes, people who get moderately compliments, they just kind of blow them up and don't anybody want to really view themselves. But you tell a lot of times when you see people, they're on Facebook and they say, rate yourself from a scale of 1 to 10, and everybody wants to give themselves an 8. It's like, all right, look, if you an 8, what is Halle Berry? Or what is whatever model person or something. So I just think it comes from like a fake self-esteem, and they end up getting disappointed when society tells them different. Like, I mean, I could think that I'm supposed to play in the NBA all I want to, but if I can't get a GM to think
Right.
that, I'm not playing. And I think that's what it kind of boils down to sometimes.
I don't think you're gonna find many people that's gonna rate themselves a 5 and beyond. I mean,
But I think
like I'm an 8.
generally speaking,
cool.
if you look at the finest person you've ever seen, if
So
they
you
are
want them
10
to get on the scale?
No, I mean, no, just generally speaking, though.
I know. I'm
The
saying
finest
general.
person, right? Generally
So let's
speaking,
say each person chooses their own because everybody's vision of
Right,
beauty.
true.
So let's say if they pick their finest person and then tell them to rate themselves from their finest person. So if yours is Halle Berry, or I don't know what women do I think is beautiful, but okay, you do that. Then if they really were honest with themselves and rated themselves from the highest score, where would they fall?
they will usually fall between 4, 5, and 6 if they are attractive.
I always have this debate with people over there because I've said somebody, oh, they're gorgeous. I'm like, I'm not gorgeous. She's just all right. She's cute. And I said, okay, let's sit down. Right. Where's there's cute? There's gorgeous.
Right. Kind of okay.
Kind of okay. Where does this scale come from? Because I was like, I think she's like beautiful. She's like, oh no, not to me. She has this, and I find that interesting.
But but yeah, if you put a number, if you're putting a number on it, I think if you look at the finest person and you go from there, all things considered, we talking physical, face, body, all of that. Most people are going to come in between 4, 5, and 6.
So then, but if in their head they're a 10, then they're going to want somebody to treat them like and spend their money on them like a 10.
Right, but and generally speaking, most people look at them and see a 5 or a 6, then they're going to treat them like they're a 5 or a 6. Because there isn't a such thing as the prettiest person in the world, but you can't sit up here and say you a 10, and some people like, oh, you okay. That's not, if somebody's a 10, generally speaking,
somebody gonna think they're
vast majority of the people are going to find them attractive.
I don't think that. I think there's somebody who may think somebody.
Well, that's just like people say. It's a lot of people that say, women and men will say that Serena Williams is ugly. Okay, but somebody like myself, I would say, well, maybe that's her personality, but I think her body is banging.
Well, I think she's ugly.
I'm not going. But
I mean, she's okay. Let me where's my scale?
Right.
Her body is there, but if I look at the whole package,
she comes in at 4, 5, 6. But her athleticism and her body and
who's a 7?
Serena.
Her body. What you think?
Well, what we talking, face and body, or whole package, face and body? Earl go for money. He don't care what you can look like the bottom of a shoe, and he gonna be with you because you have money.
Well, look what they did to Alicia Keys.
See, Dennis Rodman,
they got mad. Too now they got mad at Alicia Keys because she don't wear makeup anymore. And then, oh no, she should have kept it on. Well, apparently she okay
because she.
I mean, I didn't see a big deal about it. She still was pretty, but
Tucson says Serena is not attractive. I don't think so either. None of us know her personality.
We don't, but that's how society do.
Serena is attractive. She may not be, like pretty or cute in the face, but her body alone makes her attractive. She does have nice body parts. So,
so body parts
generally
counts.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
To me,
arms, her legs, the way she
discounts your face.
No, it doesn't necessarily discount your face, but
it adds value. It's the opposite.
It has value.
It brings her up a notch because her body.
Right. So I mean, if she looked, if she looked like she looked and she did not have a body, then yeah, she would definitely score lower. But the fact that she has a body and she has body parts that most men would appreciate, then her attractiveness is goes up.
Ernest says Serena Williams is fine, all of her.
See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody get. Oh, okay. Best example, Biggie. Biggie even said in his own song, "Ugly as ever."
He's sexy.
Not at all. I still don't see how
sexy and cute is different too, right?
Biggie was an unattractive man, and he knew it. That's why he was able to talk about it openly.
But
he's unattractive.
But his personality,
right?
Maybe his personality, his persona, or whatever made
him.
And
I like that though. I like
That's
that.
fine. But he at the same time, though, again, he kept himself up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I know a lot of women. They have beards, mustaches, they whatever, just there. You can see the glue off their track, when they wear their 27 piece. But their personality will overcompensate for that.
Well, that's the thing
So a
too.
lot
To
of
me,
times,
Halle Berry's not cute because I'm adding her personality in there.
Right, but
Like I don't know her personally, but
and
from what you see, that's how you feel.
and I no, I can understand. There are women who, I can look at them and I can say, she's an attractive woman. I can understand why people will find her attractive, but I may not be attracted to her because of her personality.
so Toussaint said, hello, Toussaint. Toussaint said,
Hey, Toussaint.
obviously beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So we know that.
Correct.
Hit, yes, but I'm not attracted to her. Meaning Serena. And I think a lot of when they say, oh, she has a nice body means I hit it. That's like a different version of I find her attractive. No, am I wrong?
I mean, I guess it depends on the person, but I think that if you gonna have sex with somebody, you have to find something attractive about them. Whether I mean something like if you're not attracted, then how does the blood rush?
Right, he won't get a
erection.
Blank.
Right.
He'll be
Tony Brand said, and sexy is an attitude more than if you're cute. Yes, and Toussaint Warner said, "Who is Leslie Jones?" Oh, someone must have mentioned Leslie Jones in the comment. Now that girl ain't not
she's a comedian
from SNL.
Yeah,
and now she's not neither cute nor sexy, in my opinion.
Correct.
But what if she had an attitude? I mean, like, hey, I'm beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that, right? If she carried herself like she was a 10 in everyone's eyes, but everybody thinks she's a 4.
But a male, I've been told this, being a comedian, they just automatically assume if I'm swearing or I might be doing some degrading men jokes, that's me, my personality. And I'm like, no, that's not my personality. That's a part of my act. So don't always assume that you get with me, I'm gonna dog you out. You know me, right? And I've had guys tell me that they like, oh my God, your eyes, my booty, whatever. And I'm like, okay, but aside from that, do you want to know me? Right. And they're like, well, no, because I think if I bomb, you're gonna talk about me in your next comedy act. I'm like, what the what? No, I'm not. But on the inside, I'm like, yeah, I will now. Because
but you're in the next one now, buddy.
Yeah, so they might think because Leslie is, unattractive or she's loud, they figure, no, I can't keep up with her.
And just because somebody isn't, I guess you could say, quote unquote, very attractive or whatever, it is not saying they couldn't find a mate or they shouldn't find a mate, because we all know that
beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
But and a lot of times it also depends on, like, sometimes people are just, another person's taste.
Exactly. Because I like bigger women. Right. I like thinner women. I like big guys.
And so, yes, like sometimes it's just a matter of, finding somebody who you work for. Like so I think that's important to just kind of point out.
So when we say that, and I want to go back to do people have realistic views of their market value on the dating scene? So if Leslie Jones felt like, and you may have to Google her for the ones out there who may not know who she is. If Leslie Jones was out there saying, a man, I only want men who do this, look like this, look like this, look like this. Because there are people who aren't as attractive to some people's eyes, and they have very big views of who the type of person they are looking for. And you almost feel like, you think maybe you want to go down a notch? Is that wrong to think?
You know what? I'll put it like this. Realistic views depend on one thing for the most part: if you are getting it. So if you find yourself and you have these certain type of expectations or whatever needs that you feel like you want, right? If you are, and you also find yourself complaining about the fact that you're not getting it, then guess what? You're not being realistic. It's just, it's pretty much that simple. If you have a certain type of man you want and you find yourself not getting that man, then maybe you're not being realistic. If
That's
you have a
not the
certain
guy
type
you
of
look for.
woman, if you some dude and you like, man, I gotta have what are you, video model, this
That's
that, who
beyond.
makes and cooks clean, whatever, and you not getting that, you probably not being realistic.
I've been seeing someone recently make a post that I'm so attractive and I find, and I forgot what the topic was, but the one that caught me off guard first was saying that they were attractive. I was like, you're not attractive to me. I wonder will other people actually see you as as attractive as you're putting out there.
They probably just got to scroll up. They probably because you have to when people do that. It goes back to what Okara said earlier. They're actually the person that's that 4, 5, 6. So to me, and I know plenty of women that do this, and some men, people that always be, oh, I know I'm cute, oh, I'm always cute, or my mother said I was cute, or my family used to tell me I was cute, I was the cutest baby. Why are you over insinuating on your cuteness? Nobody has even said anything to you yet.
Yeah.
So to me, when you do that, you're already letting me know your self esteem is in the bucket. Or when you do things like, well, like somebody might tell me this evening, well, Teresa, that guy that you was with, he could have said this, but his mustache wasn't fat enough. You don't even know him. Why would you? Where is that coming from? Why would you judge him and you don't even know him? So that goes back to what your question: are we overestimating our market value, or like what he said, are you being realistic? And I think people aren't. You're just not being real. Like I don't really care that he has to be this model type guy. But if I know he doesn't have any worry about how he looks to himself and he doesn't want to improve, then that's not the person I want to be with. Because you can get with people and you can improve one another. Say for instance, like I'm heavy. And what if a guy likes me and I'm not, overestimating my value, but he really digging me and he might feel, okay, well, if T Bizzle, lost a little weight in her hips or something, I'll work out with her. So that way we can grow together. I'm not just gonna come in and attack her and say, I like you, T Bizzle, but you kind of a big girl and I don't date big girls. Why can't you work with me? Don't just, shoot
Oh,
me
I don't
down
want.
or
No, I think that's perfect though.
yeah, that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
I
Work
think that's
work with
perfect.
me.
No, don't work with me.
No.
Bye. No,
Say
I
bye,
don't
be gone,
know.
huh?
If someone told me that, I don't think, oh, you should work with me. If you say that that's not what you like or attract to, you didn't even got to tell me that. Bye, go find what
See,
you
you're not.
attracted to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want, no. Don't come try to fix me. Or I don't think women should try to fix or make what they don't see work for them. And I think, I don't know. I don't think that
That's what
always
he just said.
works.
So Toussaint said, what's a realistic view? And so
I thought your gauge was good though. If your view isn't working, then
That's
maybe it's not realistic. If
that's
it's
not the
working for
one,
you, it's
right?
realistic.
yeah,
No,
and that's how I look at it. Like for instance, and I can't read all of his for some odd reason
I
because
know mine's
but it says, what is real? He said, I've never seen myself as overly attractive. He said, but I've also never felt like, I can't see what the rest of that
I
was
couldn't
because
pull someone. I'm I'm just saying. He's just saying, hey, he's never felt like he was overly attracted, but he also never looked at someone and said, oh, I can't have her because I'm only a 6,
and
so I can't get this 9.
and to me, that's a realistic view. What he just said, like I've never, when I look at myself, there's some days that I don't think I'm cute, and there's some days that I'm saying okay, but I don't think that I'm like a 10 or something. But at the same time, I do understand that there is a lot more to attraction than just my physical look, and so I can get somebody, or I could get women who I wanted. It doesn't, but to me, that's how I see it, because there are different aspects of attraction. There's different things that you can do to get women that you want. And so I think that is a realistic point of view.
Our super producer Earl Winfrey says money can be what you do to get the woman you want.
Right.
And that it doesn't matter if you're a 10, 6, 4, or 5.
And he's
Pull out the cash and Biggie will have tons of women all around
no,
him.
and he's right. He's right about that. He is right about that.
And buy you a car at that. And buy you a nice car too. And then you have all the women you want. So what's a realistic view? I think is a very good question. I've never seen myself as overly attractive, he said. So with that being said, what he said too, I think sometimes, and I think that's where I'm getting confused because I may not necessarily, I'm not walking around thinking I'm a 10. I know but at the same time, I've never not gotten the person I wanted.
You
So what makes that happen?
so all right. So this is I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So as far as not being realistic, it does go a little bit further than just your looks too. Because there are some women or some men or whatever who feel like, okay, they can write a whole lot of good stuff on paper, but for some odd reason, they still not getting results. That could very well mean your personality. Your personality is flawed.
Like you said, if it's working for you, and that's the gauge, and that's the difference, I guess, for Tucson and I, what we're saying is why he's always felt like he could pull anyone he wanted, and he's probably actually pulling them, and that means his view is realistic.
Exactly.
If it's working for you, then it's obviously somewhat realistic.
Exactly.
Okay. I like that gauge. I
That's
never thought of it that way.
That's a more realistic gauge.
It's a realistic gauge.
Be true to yourself. Like men, like he could pull a lot of men. But number one, he's chocolate. So women just boop chocolate before they even got to, I'm speaking from my experience of women, that I'm friends
the
with.
women that like
or like in Tucson's case, he's light complexion. So boom, light skin, they just pow, just pounce, go crazy, hey, but they, again, they're not being realistic. You have to get to know him first. You just going off of his complexion. You don't know if he working. You don't know. So that's they don't hold up like Okira said, a realistic gauge. They just automatically go, I want him because he's chocolate.
And then everything else doesn't.
Record? I mean, I'm just saying, what if he didn't finish grammar school? You still want him in?
Some may still want him.
Some may still want you.
Some may still want you because they'll fix you. I can teach you. I got books.
I
can teach you how to read.
And then they get their feelings hurt when you don't want them.
I'm an elementary school teacher.
They watching Zoom together.
What's this letter? You got flashcards for your baby.
Oh my God.
Me and my man, we go over flashcards at night. I don't mean to make fun of anybody.
Tucson is stupid. Tucson said, I ate chocolate and I changed them chocolate minds all the time.
He said, used to. He cleaned it up. Used to. You're a married man. Today is anniversary, I think, in fact.
Light skin dude.
Happy anniversary. He's just talking. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired on the light skin man.
Shots fired. There you go.
All them years, I'll be sure had y'all in the game.
Yeah, okay.
They're not in no more. They're not as in fashion as they used to be.
They still get played.
They still can play the.
One of my grammar school buddies, Cheryl Waller, says she's agreed with you, Wanda. You should only change for yourself, not for someone else. Everyone has their preference, and that's their choice. She's a full-figured woman, and she feels she's pretty and sexy, and that's it.
And there are men who like that. So why get with a man who says I don't like that, but I'll keep working out with you, and I'm gonna change your diet and make your life miserable, trying to make you work out every day. Not that there's anything wrong with doing all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that the longer it takes for you to make that happen, if it took 40 years for you to get to this spot, and now he wants to change you in the 2 years he's known you, and it's taking more time, and now he's mad because he thought he changed you, and he making your life miserable, running around tracks and slapping hot dogs out your face.
We eating kale salad every night, I'm hungry as hell trying to be with this food.
Is he slapping the hot dogs out your face?
You don't need that. Put them chips down, grabbing the bag, make you feel guilty, and in the middle of the night you got the chips out and you trying to eat all the chips while he's sleeping.
In the bathroom, he in there. What you doing?
Like Snickers. Go find a man that says, "Man, I love all of this," and then you'll be happy. Then if you lose, you losing for you, and you have.
That's it.
That's funny. That reminds me of when we was in high school. If somebody ate something with like the wrong hand, people would smack it out of their.
There's a right hand to eat something with?
It was just the game. I never played it though. I used to tell everybody, listen, I'm left-handed.
Knock my food out my hand. I'm gonna be overweight. I don't play no
game. It was
I've never heard of this game.
Yeah, they used to do it. Yeah, they used to do it in high school.
They knock the food out your hand if you how do they know which hand is right?
Well, it didn't matter. You were supposed to eat it with your right hand, and if you had
pick up, use your right hand.
Yeah, you was eating your lunch with like, I think it's your left hand. With your left hand, people would smack it out of your hand or something like that, or they
I
would
have
take it.
never, ever, ever heard of
Yeah, they
this
used to
game.
do that.
It was
My
crazy.
St.
It's
Margaret
really
of Scotland friends out there, if you're chiming in, please, how come we didn't play this?
It just depends.
I never played it because I was serious
I've
about
never
my
even
food.
heard
Yeah.
of it till
I
this
was
day.
real serious
You
about
know,
my
like
food.
when our children, well, maybe not you because you still got babies, but they play that game like that, fighting. You know, we had a fight. We play fighting. How is that a game? You
And
and
then,
you recording and you playing that you knocking me out of my head. Like, ooh, and then we friends. No, I don't want to
no,
play fight.
I don't want to play that fight.
So yeah, that was one of. It was just one
I'm
of
too
those stupid
sensitive,
games.
though. I'm sensitive. So you've been listening to He Says, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We've been talking about looks, I guess, and the value of how people and do people have realistic views of their market value on the dating scene, based on their, and I want to go into more than just looks. We'll go full market value because a lot of people now is I have my degree, I have my this added on to
let's go into
market
that.
value.
Oh my God,
Let's
that
go
one
into
is
that.
Let's go into that.
But this is brought to you by Allstate Insurance. You are in good hands with Allstate. For auto, home, or life insurance, call Sal. Tell him I sent you. 708-599-5100. Please tell Sal that I sent you and let him give you a quote and lower your rates on your car insurance, your home, or life insurance. 708-599-5100. And then if you want to start a business, you know, you want some extra income, fill up the gas tank extra every now and then, maybe save for, make trip money, and start that jar trip money. Would love to you to find out about the paparazzi business, especially if you're a girl like me who like bling. And what I love most about it is everyone can afford this. This is a business that you can't say, oh, I can't afford to buy that. I would scrape up some change from under my couch. I'll pull up the
Right.
couch seat and give me some change and give me a piece of jewelry. Everything is $5. So it's a fun business and earn some extra income. Give me a call. 708-233-50. What is our number here? 708-223-8953. You can call me here and say you're interested in it, or you can inbox me on Facebook and let me know. So as for me, Wanda B, and how to get into the business of paparazzi. So, okay, guys. So we've been talking about this market value, and do people have realistic views of their market value on the dating scene?
All right.
But we wanted to talk about
Everything
because
that-
the market value is
educational-
not just looks, because
No,
women
it's not.
usually, and men, I know men too, have this long list of I have my own house, I have my own car, I have a master's degree in whatever, and that is their total. They're looking at this package and saying men should want me, women should want me because I make six figures. The six figures now is the new real big tag thing, is I make six figures.
Right. So, all right, I think that a lot of times there is a general pecking order, I guess you would say, when it comes to like what you could put down on paper. So I would say like a very attractive women who are certain successful, they probably at the, top of the pecking order. Men who are attractive, who know how to talk to women and who have money, are probably at the, top. But a lot of times I think that a woman's perception of what is valuable to men send them off because they look at it like
Say that again for
okay.
me.
So a woman's perception of what is valuable to a man is off because they are looking at it from their perspective as if how they would evaluate a man. And a lot of times the way that men evaluate women is totally different.
So I get
So
that.
she would
Okay.
say, so a woman would say, I'm this, I'm that, I have this degree, I have that degree, I have that. Like, that's good for you on a personal level. For the man, especially the type of man that they want, he's probably not, he doesn't really care if you got all these degrees for the most part, because she wants a man who's going to be the provider, who's going to do all this. If he's doing all of that, your money don't mean anything to him. So he's not really looking at it. He's not placing the same value on that as you are, because you think that's important because you want that from him. he's not looking at it that same way. So I think that sometimes, like when because you hear it a lot of times, you hear a woman say, "Well, I have this, I got this degree." Like if you on a dating
And
site,
I'm still single. And
yeah,
I wonder
you
why
see
I'm
it,
still single.
you
And I
see it
got
all the
all
time.
these attributes.
Yeah, but it doesn't register the same way with men as a man having his degree and having that would register with the woman. And I think that's sometimes the disconnect with women who have all of that stuff they could put on paper.
Cherie said compatibility reigns supreme. Your resume doesn't mean you're going to get along with people. Tucson said if you're fishing with fake bait, that ain't your girl. That's your car's girl, and that's your house's girl, and that's your job's girl. But this conversation is the definition of transactional relating. And I know that, Tucson, but most people deal in transactional. I haven't found, I don't know anyone really that doesn't deal in transactional relating. I don't think, not in some way, shape, or form that totally is, I can't say the word right, AGAPE, love, who deal in that
Agape.
20, thank you. I cannot say it right. I say agape. And I'm
That's
like,
all
that
right.
ain't agape.
There
I-
it is.
That's, is
Beautiful.
that it?
Yes.
Yeah, you just said it
You
right.
just said it.
Agape.
So you,
Mhm.
I'll have to keep saying
everybody
it over
could
and
do
over
something
again
with
for-
practice.
Yeah, I'd have to keep saying it over because then when it's not the first version that comes out my mouth.
I
First is
understand.
yeah.
Agape.
Okay, so in 2000, I agree with that. I couldn't care less what you make or where you live. But and then he says 6% of Black people nationwide make six figures. So I never thought of it that women are viewing men from what they think men view.
You're right.
Yes, they
They
do.
Yeah.
they think that we value the same things that
So
they
what do you value?
So, I mean, all right. So
Not speaking generally for men.
generally speaking, all right, especially all right, generally speaking, I think that men value basically a pleasant personality, and we respect a woman who, who basically can hold her own, but we respect, like, we want peace. We want a person with a good personality who we can interact with, who's not going to stress us. We appreciate someone who is intelligent or whatever, but doesn't necessarily have to be a know-it-all, and who knows how to kind of move in and out when she needs to move, and a lot of time that has to do with personalities. But that's what you want.
So they look big booty first.
So I mean,
And then
I
they
thought
move
we,
into the piece.
I thought we got past the looks. Yeah, I
but
thought we
I'm
got past the
thinking
looks.
we got past the looks. But I guess I'm looking.
You're doing the outline.
Right.
I like the outline. If I know a woman's going to say,
So physical attractiveness.
If a woman's going to say he makes, I make six. If they put themselves on the list and say what men should like about them, is going to be, I make six figures. I have my degree. I have that. What would a guy say? What is the guy's version of this list? How do they? What am I trying to say?
So are you saying?
I don't know if you know.
All right. So are you saying what is the guy's version of what they would put down for a woman?
Twofold that, and
Okay.
what is it actually? If it's not all these things that women think.
Okay. So all right. We start everything out with how attracted he is to her. How attractive he finds.
So
okay, let's just
attractiveness is first.
Well, that's gonna get you in the door.
Okay.
So we'll just all right. So let's just throw that aside.
So physical is gonna be
that's gonna get you to
That's
go.
what I noticed first, and now we're going to everything under that.
That's a lot of times the gatekeeper. All right. Then you go personality. All right, and how he is going to interact with her and her personality, how she moves and the way she makes you feel. All of that type of stuff. Like, is she flip at the mouth? If she, like, does she get an attitude on every little thing? All of that type of stuff is going to be, at the top. All right.
Which has nothing to do with how much she makes.
It has nothing to do with
that she has her own house.
Right.
It's just interesting because all those things you said have nothing to do with the things that women would list as their attributes.
Right. So all of that is pretty much the nuts and bones of everything, the foundation of everything. Now, the fact that she, has her own house and has her own money, that's kind of like all right, have cake and then you give me some ice cream too. So that's all good, but it's not something that, like, especially a lot of those women, they want traditional men. It's not something that a traditional man is going to be like, oh wow, she has her own house, because he's already got his. Like, what do you need yours for? Oh, she makes 6 figures. Like, she ain't gonna be spending on you because I'm traditional. So I'll probably be treating you most of the time. Now, it's nice if she can, if something goes wrong, she can, get it then. But generally speaking, those type of guys aren't really thinking something's gonna go wrong. So that's why a lot of times you see like rich men with a waitress, or a rich man with somebody, and they're like, why are you with her? Because at the end of it, she makes him feel a certain way. And men are not necessarily trying to do the song and dance of, who's the alpha person with a woman. We do that all day with men. So we're not really trying to do that. And a lot of times, you know, when you hear them and they put all of that stuff down, they're acting like they have this kind of attitude, like I'm standing right next to you. I can put you in a headlock type of thing. And guys we ain't really trying to hear that. Right. We're not really trying to hear that. So, but I know women who have all of those things, and they know how to fall back when they need to fall back. And that's probably
they know their place.
The most important thing is just being able to allow a man to show what he has.
Yes. Okay, that's interesting. Toussaint said, a real man will value your ability, allow me to feel emotionally vulnerable and still feel masculine. Can you be my peace, period? He said, number one is she attractive to him? Number one. And number two, does she bring me peace? That's our entire list. He said that's most men's entire list. Tony Blair, if I can be myself and she is my place of peace, then we are good. So that's interesting. I think that's an interesting thing that women should maybe take note of, is that a lot of times, I mean, I'm single, I got my own house, I got my own car, I'm independent, I do this, and they list all these things. I cook, I clean, and I have sex, I do this, and I didn't hear anyone mention sex in that whole list for guys. And I think that's one thing a woman will throw out as being one of their attributes.
You have some women that do that. They will be, and I know a lot of them. And no, don't inbox me later on. I'm not gonna put your name out there, but I know a lot of them that I give good head. Okay, so after you give the good head, then what? Or I'm a squirter, or I'll do the BDSM, or I'll do. So I'm going. So you're doing all of this freaky stuff, but in the meanwhile, when he just wants you to tell him, hey, honey, you want something to eat, you want a beer, you want a cigar, some slippers, I made some dinner. That's what he want to hear. He don't want to hear all of that extra stuff. Because I learned in my marriage, men, they don't like the nagging. Just leave them alone. Like he said, when they at work, it's already a battle at work. It's already a battle out here just to be a black man, in Chicago and providing. So then when you go home, we be like, you didn't take that garbage out. Okay, so you couldn't have took the garbage out for him. It was just garbage. It wasn't nothing major. But you are nagging him, and he done worked. He done fought the police. Everything that goes with being a headache of being a black male. And then he come home, and you yip 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 yip, and then you wonder why the relationship is right.
And I've heard women say to that, why won't he just do it though? Because I said to do it now. I mean, and then that becomes that battle.
I used to be like that until, like I said, I had to do a self-exam. And it was also a lesson I watched from Joyce Meyer, one of those big, TV mega church ministers. And she said she was like that. Everything had to be, the food had to be, FIFO, first in, first out. This is old, this is new. The perfume, the towels had to be folded a certain way. The living room furniture had to be this way. And she said Dave would just be like, mm-hmm. And she said it would piss her off. Like, why is he so calm? Why is he? Or Dave would be like, okay, I'm gonna go play golf. And she would be like, what is wrong with him? And she said he told her, so if we put the furniture a certain way, or we put the food alphabetically, is that going to change what we doing for tomorrow? Or is anything miraculous going to happen? No, the furniture is still going to be crooked. So he was letting her know, you don't have to make a big thing out of nothing. If you didn't do the dishes, it's okay. How about just sit here with me? Or how about go golfing with me? That's all men want to feel. They want to feel that they are providing, for you. You have to stroke their ego. And I don't think nothing is wrong with it.
I would like to
You,
hear if guys agree with that term, though, stroking their ego. One sec, I want to bring up Toussaint said most guys end up with the C student. She ain't the best sex, but she cool. She ain't the best cook, but she cool. She ain't got the fattest ass, but it's cool. The law of averages.
Yeah,
you
he's true. And women do it, and women do with men too. He don't have he's not the greatest.
Ernest, I'm getting to you. Go ahead.
but no, he Tucson got a point there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting sometimes how like I read this book one time, and in the book the guy said that people create their own unhappiness, and it sounds like that's what this lady was talking about.
Yeah.
We put so much value on certain things that in the end don't really have that much value, and we stress ourselves out, and when we stress ourselves out, we put that stress on our mate or whatever. And I think that a lot of times as men or whatever, when we come home, we kind of like we just want to chill. And a lot of times when women come home and they see stuff, they just see things as not being done.
Yeah.
Because like women, I think that y'all mental emotional is a little bit more active than ours is. And so I think that that's why y'all talk more.
There's and James Borashake can fill you in on the talk that we do talk more in it.
Yeah, and so and I think that's where it is that there are times when I think women don't pay attention to like body language or whatever. And men, at the same time, we can be better at doing things right away. Because if you have something in your house that's like a hole in your house or something like that, and your wife told you a year ago, yeah, dog, you messed up. You should have taken care of that. And I think that's a back and forth or something that we probably both can improve on. Not everything is this, that, and then not everything needs to take a year to do.
I think for some women, they've been judged or been taught to judge themselves by their home being clean, so it's not necessarily they're trying to ding the guy or do something to him. It's that they're trying to be the best mom, have the best house. They're trying to be the best woman of what the standards have told them to be a good woman. Your house is clean. And so if you don't take out the garbage, then my house isn't clean and this isn't done. And that's how women run the house, and women should keep their house in this. And so I think sometimes it's the pressure they're putting on themselves that they're now spewing over on their family. I really wanted to bring up Ernest asked us to talk about something that
the
is
women.
wrong.
He wanted us to talk
Do you
about.
have it where you read it?
I saw it. Speak about women making more money than a man. Many men have an issue with it. I can't. My Seymour is not going. And then it says discuss why that, and I can't read the rest of it. But
Well, that's a
so when we talk about the things with women, do women now care as much as they make more than the guy? Do they still care? Because
well, I don't know. It depends on the woman. I want to say yes and I want to say no. For me, I'm not necessarily into his salary because I don't know what it took him to get to that level. So why should I be expecting, he has to have a master and he has to have this type of car, and you can have that and that guy could be a total jerk. Whereas if I'm dating, James, and James is on the drive-through at Wendy's, James might actually be the man for me. Just because he's, doing, may I take your order? James might be that guy that'll say, hey, T Bizzle, I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil in your car. Or hey baby, I got the car washed and filled up with gas.
Keep bugging him because he works at Wendy's
I wouldn't.
Then why be with him? I know you would. I'm speaking in general. You do have women who will get with the guy who makes less and then be very annoyed that he makes less and be trying to get him to make
more.
But
more,
that goes back to
and
what
then
Okira said.
belittling him for not and making his life miserable, which then isn't peace.
Right.
So why
So
do that though?
that's a lot of times if you agree to a situation, you agree to a situation. Shut up about it. That's how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. It's what as far as Ernest's question was about men feeling a certain kind of way about it. I think that some of that is the fact that I think a lot of times men they kind of attribute their worth to how
Money.
much money that they make. You know, um, and I think that, and I understand that because we are judged on that a lot of times. But I think that a lot of that has to do with how a woman approaches her making more money than you and how you act as a man couple. Because, for instance, I think that no matter what, as a man, you have to be the same. So whether the woman makes more than you or she makes less than you, I think you just do what you do. And, so in the end, basically what she has to decide is that, all right, so let's just say you're a traditional man, you make 100, the woman you're with, she makes 250. All right, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. It's up to her to decide, is she gonna be cool with living a lifestyle within your means if she expects for you to do, pay for the things or whatever. That's her. That's on her. But you just do what you're gonna do. You don't front for it. You do what you're gonna do. This is what I would do if you made 40. This is what I'm gonna do if you made 250. And then at that point, it's just a decision on both people on how they work it. But if she's sitting there wanting to have like caviar dreams on your budget, and you can't afford that, then that's on her now. Now she have to decide, well, is she going to contribute to having the caviar dreams? And I think that will simplify it.
Yeah.
And having real or not always going for potential, and really just what you see is what you get, and if you get more, but get with someone who you see the potential of one day hopefully giving you caviar dreams, but right now he's on bacon, then you're gonna
Right.
That was like that movie that Taraji just did. That's
Kind of,
she was
yeah.
she was with him, and he
Acrimony.
was that's it, and he didn't have it together, but he had the idea, he had his vision, but her sisters, women, yak yak yak, they did all of that. No, him, no, and then when he made it big, I thought that was so mature of him to even reach back and say, hey, here's what I did to you. This check will stand for the hurt and pain. And, I'm sorry I hurt you, but let me go ahead and still, bless you with this big check.
And
He
it
didn't
is
have to
too
do
bad
that.
she didn't. I think if she was invested in the dream,
Then
then
she
it
would
would
have
have been
been
different
more.
for her.
But we have to kind of acknowledge the fact that he did make it really difficult
Oh, he
to
did.
invest in the dream.
He did.
Total. I mean, but let's think about it. She did invest in the dream for a very long time.
She did.
He made it extremely difficult to trust him in the end because of his reluctance to get a job, his reluctance to do certain things. Like at some point, you kind of like, all right, look, I understand you have this dream, but I'm working two jobs. So in that sense, you know, he was wrong. He did that. He messed that up, which
Right.
is probably the reason why he gave the $10
His
million
conscience,
is
yeah.
because he knew he messed that up, and he
Yeah.
really did mess that up. The unfortunate part is that I think that in that movie, when they were and he was about to sign, they were about to sign. I think if her sister wasn't there, I don't think she goes through with it, and it probably all works out.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It
Yeah.
should have been like okay, maybe this, the fact that she put her sisters on blast. Yeah, you dating him, and blah blah. If she had left that part out, it would have turned
It probably would have.
different. It would have been
Yeah.
better. Because in my personal experience, I dated a guy like that. He has a dream for his vision, what he wants to do in life and where he wants to go and what he sees. And I was on board with it. Like I told him, well, my dream is to do not-for-profit work, and work with kids with special needs, things like that. So I figured we our dreams together and we would grow together. But what I saw in him, he was always procrastinating, like, okay, yeah, I got to go take this test. And then when I would ask him, hey, you ready? You excited to go take your test? Oh no, I didn't. I just didn't have enough gas, so I'll wait till next time. Alright. I was like, wow, what? So you got me pumped up, finna take this ride with you, and you don't have enough tenacity to say, I want it, I'm gonna do it. I got the support. So that's where, I was like acrimony. I was like, oh, well,
And
bye.
and you know what? And that is probably the one thing that people probably need to improve on is paying better attention to uh character, personality traits in this thing. So, like for instance, I remember one of my friends, she was telling me she met this guy, and when she met him, he was significantly younger than her, like I don't know, 10 years or something like that. So he was at a stage in his life where he was kind of coming up or whatever, right? And she was at a stage in her life where she kind of basically wanted somebody who was already there. And so she, he had told her, his future, whatever, what he wanted for the future, whatever. And she was like, I believe you are the type of person who get it, but I'm at a different place, so I'm gonna pass, right? Years later, he's married and he did exactly what he was going to do. Now, she's not like, oh my God, I missed out or whatever, because, she understood. But right, but she knew he was the type of person who would probably make it come to fruition. And I think that's the thing that we as people probably pay attention to. Because like you said, he just basically looked for any excuse not to take the test.
And I was like, really?
And there's a difference between, wanting a dream or having a dream and somebody who is really genuinely going to take the steps to make it happen. And I think that's what we need to start to pay attention to.
You have to.
Those are two different things. Like you say, and to use that acrimony movie, he was consistently doing something towards his dream. It wasn't like she had to tell him.
Right.
He was on people's doors. He was calling neck. So if I saw that kind of tenacity, then you kind of would be in there with them when you see that they, because
you're like,
yeah,
hey,
but if
okay.
you calling out and it's supposed to be your dream, but you're too lazy to get on the them, then that
See,
I got a call for you.
And that's what makes that, and that was the other thing. It was something as simple as he needed an appointment for something he needed done, and he was like, I don't know how to do it, and my phone don't work, and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, I'll call for you. I'll even have them email you and respond to you, because I do that with everybody. Myself, I would do it for you. You wanted to be whoever. If I see that you needed that extra and you actually couldn't do it, if I have the time, I'll do it. It's no problem. I don't look for anything in return because I want to help you. And so I did everything that he needed. And then I asked him, it was like a week later, I was like, yeah, so did you go? Did you take the test? And he was like, no, because they didn't call me back. And I just said, yeah, like he said though, I paid attention to his character, and his character was, I'm gonna make all these excuses, and then if it was like I was gonna be his mom, and I don't want to date anybody where I feel I'm gonna be your mom, and then I'm complaining and I'm faking. So I just told him, I said, well, don't worry about it, you tried or whatever, and that's it. The writing was on the wall. It was like, no, he doesn't have any gumption. This is him as a person. Now, do I want to change him? No, he showed me. It's like what everybody says. People show you who they are.
Believe him.
In the door.
Shout outs to Katie Lowe of Rhythm Flow with Katie Lowe every Tuesday here at IntellectualRadio.com at 4:45 p.m. Thanks for tuning in, Katie. Tucson said, and I'm going to move along because we were asked to bring up another topic that I was going to talk about. Tucson said, because we create our relationship standards off other people's narrative, specifically white folks, men and women, if only 6% of Black people make six figures and we can't do that, and then transactional relationships, the only one with the money is the king. Oh, he's responding to why I guess there's an issue where we were talking about the one topic. So wanted to bring up this case in Dallas. A Dallas officer, Amber Geiger, who she killed a Black man in his apartment and shot him because she says she went into the wrong. She thought it was her apartment. The Dallas police officer says she fatally shot a man in his apartment, believing that it was her own apartment. That's been in the news. When did this happen? A 4-year veteran of the force told investigators she was returning home from her shift Thursday night and accidentally entered into this man's Botham Jean's apartment. Geiger, who is white, believed Jean was an intruder and shot him. So it seems so crazy that you can walk in someone's home and think it's yours and shoot them, and then she is home. It says right now there are more questions than answers. Police Chief Renee said, "We understand the concerns of the community. That is why we are working as vigorously and meticulously as we can to ensure the integrity of the case and the department is upheld." But she's free as they investigate. So what do you think about this case?
All right. So I kind of like have been following it a little bit. And the residents say that there is 2 ways to enter a door. So you have a key or like electronic key or whatever, or you can enter a code in order to get to the door. So first of all, you're not just walking into somebody's thing. You're not just going to open somebody's door and it's just open. That's very
for
unlikely.
Your own apartment. So she lives in the same apartment building complex.
So she has a key or she has a code
to her own apartment. So she would have had to pull out. If his house has a different key and a different code, then how would she even get in?
Exactly. And so that's now
I didn't even think about that.
Right. So you can't just like for instance, that door over there. If you unlock it, then somebody can just walk in.
That's what anybody does. My house keys don't fit your house.
But most right now, pretty much every door almost automatically locks unless you, after closing it, go and open it. So she didn't just walk in. That makes sense. How did she with his door? Right. So how did she walk in his house to shoot him by mistake? Right. So she didn't just walk in. That's the one thing. The other neighbors say that they heard somebody banging saying, "Open the door." So apparently she was banging saying, "Open the door." So obviously he opened the door. Now she also had on her uniform. So if the police is banging at your door saying open the door, if you look through the peephole or whatever, you open the door probably. So that story don't sound plausible.
Pictures of them actually knowing each other.
No, so those are not really her.
Those aren't her?
Those are not her. Those pictures are not her.
Okay. So they don't have any prior relationship.
We don't know. We don't know about that, but the pictures that was released on the internet of him, hugging like 3 girls. One of the girls is not. Neither one of those girls.
None of those women are actually.
Yeah.
Her. Okay, I was gonna say that seems to be open and shut if we find they had a prior relationship and now you accidentally got in his house. But it still just seems sketchy that you could mistake that for your own. Were you that sleepy, that tired, who from work that you don't even know your own apartment?
Look, I'm gonna tell you. Her story is crazy. Her story. No, I'm sorry. Like, it makes no sense. Listen. I've worked 12-hour days, 14-hour days, 16. I've worked whatever. I've been tired. There is no way that a person who is not drunk comes to their door, cannot get in their house, knocks on the door. A person, and I think they said he had just got out the shower. I think they were saying. Comes to the door and you not recognize, you're not, clear enough that you don't recognize that this is not your apartment. I'm sorry. There is no way you can just sell that to me that she was that tired that even after knocking on the door and being alert of the fact that she can't get into her apartment, that she wasn't awake enough to look into the apartment and see that it's not hers. And
then to become alert enough to actually pull out your gun and defend yourself.
Right.
So now do you stay so sleepy and tired that you just start shooting and defending?
Yeah. So
it's not logical.
So unless she was. The only thing that even sound plausible is that she was really, really drunk. And, and then maybe, in her, because she wasn't clear, whatever. And I don't know. But the story that they're putting out there right now just don't make any sense to me. Because if I can't get into my apartment, the first thing I'm doing is waking up.
Yeah, I'm woke.
Yeah, you woke at that point.
My anger is why my key came. What in the world? I'm
upset now. How do you not all of a sudden like become alert. Because I mean, all right, your key's not working. You probably try your code. Like you woke at that point. How do you not,
Now, what if his
perk
door
up?
was unlocked? What if he hadn't locked his door and she didn't have to deal with key?
And see, that's the other part of it being very unlikely, because if you have, and
You still would be attempting to keep for your own house because you don't know the door is unlocked.
exactly.
So if you got to a house and it's yours and you are expecting to unlock your own house, you still are trying to fit a key that isn't going in, or put in a code that isn't going in.
Exactly.
You wouldn't recognize that
You not
the
just
door
exactly.
is even open. You're not going to try your door to be open if it's your door and you know you locked it.
Exactly.
Yeah, none of it is
that
making
case
too much
is
sense.
there's a lot of loopholes in there. Because I'm thinking all type of stuff now. Did you know him? You know what I'm saying? Were you meeting him? Did you text him and he said, no, you can't come over. It's over. Is that why you banging open the door? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how they fixing this one.
And why is she out? Why is she free? She
because
she
she
still
a police
she's a
officer.
police officer.
Yeah, they got
You know what?
industrial quirks.
But this is what I think. I think that they're going to charge her. They probably charge her with murder, and I think she's going to get off.
Oh, most definitely.
Because I think a
off.
lot of times they try to overcharge people in order to get, like in situations like these, in order for them to get off.
Well, she's gonna get off.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like they might try to charge her for like first degree murder when it's probably
And it's easy
manslaughter.
then to prove that it's not first degree murder.
Right.
Then so now she gets off because they can't prove first degree murder. And if they charge her with manslaughter or some whatever, I don't know what the,
because first degree murder and first degree murder is you have to have intent. Manslaughter is just basically reckless behavior that led to somebody dying.
You know the law.
Yeah.
You know that? I didn't know that. Aaron Allen says she shouldn't be free, cop or not. Tony Brand says supposedly they pulled the warrant for manslaughter and may change it to murder. And then Katie Lowe said, what if they were in a relationship?
See,
and if they were in a relationship, then she murdered him.
Yeah, she murdered him.
That's murder. Right
if they find any
link,
if they find a text message between the two,
you know that's why they're meticulously
a dating site.
Yeah, because I don't. That's all I'm getting out of it. It just went through my mind like, yeah, they done broke up or something, and she pissed, and she coming over there in her uniform. Open this door.
Stezo Johns of Stezo Radio said, did anyone notice during the police press conference, the female cop said, our initial approach was to cover for her, but we quickly determined that was not possible.
I did not see that.
They said that?
Oh, that would be horrible.
Stezo got the
wow.
Yeah, I know. He follows cases.
Right.
Wow.
But,
yeah, I'm not surprised though. I mean, that's what they do.
Wow. Yeah, they do it. Yeah, they do it.
That's what they do. You know, did anybody notice how every time, like if you Google it, right, they always say police officer who mistook apartment or whatever may be warrant for arrest or something. Like they always put her explanation in the thing. They always put it. And then I saw somebody else, I don't know if it was Stezo or somebody on Facebook also pointed out that no one ever says innocent black man was shot.
That's never the headline.
That's never the headline.
You won't see that.
They never say innocent black man was shot.
Yeah. Never. That won't be the. It will never be the headline. Ernest Tuckett said, if it was late and the door was open, and this is plausible. If it was late and the door was open, she'd have pulled her gun thinking someone was in her place. My first question is, was there a radio call where she called into the station to say there's an intruder there? So why would she handle it? That's another point to look at. I mean, if she felt like there's an intruder in her house, shouldn't she call the police herself and make a call?
So on the movies they do that. Hey, I'm gonna need backup.
No, but
I like
this is
I like the reenactment there too.
They like, hey, I need backup. My door is open.
I don't know. I guess it just I don't know. It just seems very implausible that the door was open or unlocked. It does, because it sounds like if it has a way you could get in with the key and with a code, it sounds like that is a security measure for if somebody forgets their key. And so you just use the code. So why would you purposely just unlock the door after you've gone, unless he left it unlocked so somebody could come in because they were supposed to come.
But you could give the person a code. You don't have to leave it open.
But then you could just give them the code. Exactly.
So Aaron Allen said, wow, the police department admitted publicly they are corrupt. Absolutely they did. If they said that our initial was to cover for her, should never cover for her. If she's committed a crime and shot, and she was off duty. She wasn't on duty when she did it. She was off.
And yeah.
This gonna come out kind of bad.
I think what's gonna happen, I think that if they don't find any kind of connection, I think she might, because basically what she's probably gonna say is that, if the accounts from what the witnesses said, she was knocking on the door, she's gonna say that, when he opened the door, that there was probably some kind of altercation and then she had to shoot him, because she's not going to just admit that she just shot a man who wasn't doing anything wrong, even if that is what happened.
Grabbed for my gun.
Yeah,
sure. I fear for my life.
She's it's going to be some kind of story where he did this and then
he did something that made me shoot him.
Yeah,
even in his own home.
Right. He didn't.
Even though you're in his home and you're actually the intruder.
Right.
Somehow.
She's not going to say that he came to the door and was like, "Why are you knocking on my door?" So So yeah.
The Ernest Tuckett said her story is crazy. I don't believe her for a second. It is just a very wild story, and nothing seems to be. If any of it was true, it just still doesn't add up.
It sounds like a reverse. You remember the guy with the fake legs? Poor little Tink Tink. It sounds like his story when he shot his girlfriend, his fiance at the time.
The Olympic run, the Paralympic,
and he was saying he woke up in the middle of the night and all that, and I'm like. It was her.
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Most definitely.
Diesel said, has it been announced who will be conducting this investigation?
The Rangers.
Because I've been trying to find out that info. The Rangers. So the police can they
apparently
investigate this?
So, well, the police chief said that they handed it over to the Texas Rangers and for them to investigate.
Which still isn't an outside.
No, it's not.
It still doesn't seem like an outside. Steve Johns. Toussaint said he was into white chicks. She lived close. She was neighborhood box, and she got upset about something.
Yeah.
The real question is, what's the value of Black life? Police murder is how most of the 60s went.
I'm with Toussaint on that one.
I think I just closed the case on that. I think Toussaint just wrapped it up.
That's it. Thank you, Toussaint, because he hit it right on the head.
Next topic. No.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And there you have it. Next topic. So you said the Rangers will be conducting it. Police murders, how most of the 60s went. And that's how most of the 2018s are going with police murder. I mean, that part is becoming very real now. So checklist. What are we going to check off the list today? We have about 10 minutes left.
We got quite a few going on. Well, tonight is the birthday for the Virgos, for LaTonya Lang and Russell Ray of Defiant TV. They're going to be at the entrance, 15101 Dixie Highway, and one of the guest singers tonight is going to be our own Eva Rue. She'll be performing tonight. So if you are a Virgo, I think it starts at 6 to 10. 6 to 10, or either 5 to 9. But
6 to 11.
Okay, make sure you're at the entrance to celebrate this Virgo birthday bash for DJ Rush, or Mr. Blank Johnson, as he calls ourselves. And of course, our buzzing off with 3Z's sister, LaTonya Lang. One of my close friends, she is a domestic violence survivor. Renee Cooper is having her second annual intimate conversation. And it's entitled Bruised But Not Broken. And that's going to be October 27th at 1817 Washington Boulevard. That's in Maywood. Tickets are $15, and that's 7 to 9 p.m. If you need more information, you can go to her Facebook page, My Voice Matters, and find out about this wonderful event for domestic abuse survivors. My buddy, best friend of mine, Gregory Gibbs, for all you Luther Vandross lovers, again is having his tribute to Luther Vandross Sunday, October 14th at the JLM Center, which is also on the west side, 2622 West Jackson. Doors open at 5 o'clock, and tickets are $30 or $40 at the door. If you need more information, you can go to his Facebook page, Tribute to Luther Vandross page, or officially Gregory Gibbs, and buy your tickets there, or go online to WYSEEINC.com and purchase your ticket to watch him woo you with his beautiful voice. He sounds just like Luther, and it is a great show. Also, if you did not get to see Disconnected, the movie that I'm in, produced and written by Dorian Johnson, co-produced by Erica Jazzy Jackson, it'll be showing at the University of Chicago September 15th, and tickets are $10. So go to the Facebook page Disconnected so you can buy your tickets. That's it for me on my checklist.
And I'm going to check off some things for you too. Remember, Becoming Dateable,
Yes.
Bedroom Candy, and she said will be doing the Bedroom Bingo Wednesday, September 26th from 6 to 9 at Ravens Place, 13031 Western Avenue in Blue Island. Tickets are $25. We did this last month, and they did it in. People are serious about that bingo. I've never been to a bingo game before.
Yes, they are, honey.
Jesus, woo!
Yeah.
Whoa, I was like, this is a whole nother language of people, what people are doing out there. But they were serious about playing bingo. I just watched. That was a very crazy experience to see. So if you're in the bingo and the prizes are fun, it's not this ain't your grandma's bingo now. I will tell you that. It has some spiciness to it. Come out that September 26th at Ravens Place, 13031 Western Avenue. And the $25 tickets gets you a lot of games. How many? 6 times, about 24 games or something. I forgot how it's played, but boy, you get the boards. It's colored. It's fun. People were serious now. It's good. So bring your bingo game out, and the prizes though are the fun part. Definitely bedroom bingo. It's not for your granny. Don't tell granny to come out. She may. Oh my,
folks. It's
Depends
grown
on-
folks.
it's
bingo.
grown folks.
Depends
bingo.
on the granny though.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
You got some internet
I'm
grannies
sorry. This
out there.
2018
Yeah.
grannies. Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, you got some 35-year-old grannies. They like those prizes.
Yeah, what is it? 40 is the new 70, or 70 is the
Yeah,
new 40.
That's
so,
it.
so yeah, come out, have fun. It's a good time, all ages. And then, please, if you need auto, home, or life insurance, go to Allstate Insurance, 7380 West 87th Street. Call 708-599-5100, 708-599-5100. Ask for Sal. Tell Sal I sent you and get you a quote. He may be able to lower some rates for you. And I would like to say a big thank you to everybody on Facebook who chimes in. You really do add to the conversation. You make it flow so well, add great insight. So thank you to Toussaint. Thank you to Aaron Steezo. Check out Steezo Radio. Thank you to Ernest Tuckett. You got to come back on the show, Ernest. And I can't see any other names. Any other names?
Katie Lowe.
Katie Lowe from Rhythm Flow, 445 Tuesdays here at Intellectual Radio. Can you remember any other names? That
Alice Boswell.
No, she didn't chime in.
She
Did she
did.
on yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm like, oh, I don't know. I didn't see Alice today.
Yeah, she said, "Hey, everybody."
No, okay. Hey, Alice. You got to check out. And your dear show too here. CGF Entertainment Tuesdays at 9 p.m. on IntellectualRadio.com. So thank you, Aaron. If there were more names, I can't. Why am I drawing a blank? Cherie.
Did you say Walinda?
Wylinda, Cherie,
Ernest?
Tuckett.
Did Joseph chime in on you? Joseph Waraga or Waraga? I'm probably saying his name.
You said
wrong.
Tony?
I can't say
Tony
his name.
Brands, who is also a sponsor of He Said, She Said, Dub Nation and his team. Thank you. And all the people that shared, Tina Poche, John Russo, Tyson, who also has a show here, 30 and Up, doing us 1 p.m. on Fridays at Intellectual Radio. And who else are the shares? Thank you so much for everybody that shares the show. I so appreciate you. I'm trying to see more names, and it's like making me stop seeing names. But and Lutonia, my dear Lutonia, happy birthday. Latanya from Paparazzi. Like I said, if you're interested in making some money, let me know. 708-223-8953. You can call me here, and I'll get in touch with you, or let me inbox me. And so thank you guys. You guys, anything you guys are plugging? Got anything coming up?
No, I don't.
Aren't you a masseuse?
Massage therapist, that is.
Oh, excuse me.
Massage therapist.
What's the difference?
A lot.
Okay, that has to be a whole nother show.
Masseuse is a cream.
Time.
No, I'm just kidding. I said masseuse is a cream. Yeah.
No, what is the difference? Real quick. I think I got a couple seconds.
Masseuse is kind of the sexual nature.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
well, call O'Cara for massage therapy. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I don't mess that up. I never knew that.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Okay, we're going to have a class on that. T. Bisley, you have any
Let's
events?
do it. No, I'm going to get a masseuse.
Not a massage therapist. Sorry, O'Cara. She wants the masseuse. And please tune in here. Come back, same time, same place, here on IntellectualRadio.com for He Said, She Said, next Sunday, 2 p.m. Stay tuned. We got a special show coming up. Normally she's going to be at 1, but today she's at 4. What's the name of the show? What happened to John Blaine? 4 o'clock. See you. Hey. Keep listening, though, to IntellectualRadio.com. Thanks.
Oh, take care. They said, we said, we really, really would want to be. Oh, she's a real deal, keeping it real for real. Really, really would want to be. Oh, all inclusion, no confusion. But he said, she said, clearing up the drama.